and because the economy's better, people got more money, so now they're more willing to buy. We're seeing homes appreciate, and so it's good. I don't know that coronavirus has got much for it. I think people for us is more economic.
Well, so I think you would agree. So the more it's looking like instability is going to occur, so meaning like the threat of a coronavirus or impeachment or something like that, that would, I mean, I'm thinking that would cause interest rates to lower. You expect in the future, as opposed to a China trade deal or something like that, you'd expect interest rates to higher. The more stability, the higher rates are going to be going.
Yeah. So rates have been down because they're not really sure about China. Rates are down right now because they're really not sure if Trump's going to make it or not. So they're still out there. But however, we've seen an uptick in purchases. Rates haven't really moved, but we've seen an uptick in purchases since that first little China piece got, everybody's like, okay, we're making some movement, which was better than we don't know if we're making movement. And then it looks like right now that he's probably not going to get impeached, so we're starting to see people buy more because they're not worried. If Trump gets impeached, I think that changes things pretty dramatically. Because not so much because we'll probably have another Republican president, right? Because the vice president steps in. But then we go, okay, can he win the election this November? And then people start, then that starts that turmoil. And I think it would actually make our situation worse. Because people would be scared to go buy because they don't know what's going to happen, which slows the market. Now, that'll make rates go down. But the rate, it really isn't the factor for us. The factor for us is, do people have the money in their pocket to make that purchase, to make that movement, and do they feel like that their job is secure and they're going to continue to make the income or more than what they're currently making?
Yeah, I think it was well said.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's really all.
I want to ask you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I want to ask you a question. So, in your business, how do you build relationships with people that are potentially folks that would buy your product?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. So, I mean, my business is all relationship driven. It's one of the main reasons why I moved over from residential to commercial, is just because residential, I felt like kind of similar in y'all's in a way. I had to just be lucky, wait until a friend or family members buy a house, and also, I mean, the barriers to entry with being a real estate agent. There's everybody's brother and sister, brother-in-law, whatever is an agent. So there's a lot more competition. But yeah, what was your original question with this? Sorry.
I forgot.
Yeah. I think it was like, how do I get business? What I'm doing. Yeah. So there's a set list of owners. And one of the most important things for me, there's a lot of cold calling started off. Luckily, my dad's an owner. My old boss is an owner. And I grew up in town in Atlanta, which a lot of, my friends' dads and whatnot are owners. So I'm already connected in that world. So you kind of leverage that. But one thing I make sure to do when I'm cold calling, kind of what we talked about earlier, find out as much information on somebody before you talk to them as possible. So I'm the king getting on LinkedIn and going to their website and reading, well, hey, this guy went to Georgia, or this guy's mutual friends with Connor Beecham or Floyd Mayweather, whatever, Mayweather, somebody I haven't even seen in 2 years, but I'll make sure when I call him to bring up, hey, I saw Connor as well, or I saw Steve as well, or I saw you went to Georgia. What did you think about that game? And I think that's really important. And people are a lot more. Now I make sure to only call people and not say, hey, here's what you can do for me. Let me sell one of your deals. Let's say, hey, I've got a deal for sale down the street that I think you might be interested in buying. And they're a lot more receptive to hearing about that. Even if they don't want to buy it, it gives you instant credibility. Like, wow, this other owner trusted him to sell the deal, so maybe this guy's legit, and I want to keep talking to him.
So what's the conversation you have with yourself when you're going to make a cold call? How are you talking yourself up to be able to make that cold call? What do you say?
To be honest with you, I don't really have much of a kind of think about it. The more you think about it, the more nervous you get about it. I think a lot of what, I haven't told my history on this podcast, and I probably will a later one, but I've done so many jobs and taken so many risks really in the past 2-3 years. I'm just really at the point, kind of what I said is so important about sales, but I just don't care. You know what? Like, sure, I call this guy. Maybe he hates me. Maybe he loves me.
But you're okay.
But whatever. I'm at peace with that. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to be, do this job to the best of my ability. Whatever happens, happens. And I think a lot of people respect that when you get on the phone with them. You know, if you're calling them and you know they're CEO of some big company or whatever, and you're like, hey, how's it going? You know, then they kind of detect that and probably a lot less likely to want to continue talking to you as opposed to just like confidently kind of go into it. I think a lot of it's just mindset. And you know, just got to fail, and then eventually get to the point where you don't care if you fail.
So what do you say to yourself when you get that guy on the phone? He says, yeah, I want to see it. Now you got a chance to show him that property, and you're going, okay, I might have a sale. How are you talking to yourself in that situation?
I mean, first off, I'm, you know, excited. But, you know, then, I mean, I'm, you know, in that process right now. I mean, once you get a deal, they know the guy's going to sell, then you got to work on finding a buyer. So then I'm, you know, putting together a list of all the buyers in the market, cold calling all those people, sending out email, LinkedIn, you know, full-on kind of marketing, that deal. And, you know, I'm a big believer, just kind of like you said, just getting in front of and meeting people. More people, every meeting I've had, I've got a new deal, pretty much. Because when people meet you, they see you face-to-face, they trust you more. It's just a great opportunity to build a relationship.
So this podcast you're doing,
Yeah.
do you feel like it's accomplishing what you set out to do with that? I mean, what's your main focus on that, and what are you accomplishing?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, this is the first one, you know, of this, so hopefully we'll listen to this afterwards and we're likely to hear. But I mean, the main goal here is to help other people. And you know, to have these kind of, you went into this talking about business entrepreneurs, and you have these conversations about life, what's important for sales, and hopefully people listen to this are going to pick up on some of that. People that are looking for jobs now know, hey, maybe I should go mention to a couple of my friends, I want to go be an astronaut, because then they might know an astronaut they can refer me to.
Exactly.
If I don't tell them I want to be an astronaut, then their friend that's an astronaut, they're never going to introduce me to. So that's the goal, is really just help other people. I mean, you know, for my business-wise, I mean, I don't really know how many people in commercial real estate are going to listen to podcasts. It's a bunch of older guys, you know, probably aren't going to be listening to too many podcasts. But for our generation, it's really for my friends and, you know, people our age to motivate them to kind of get it together and follow their dreams. And, you know, sure, you might fail again, but Albert Einstein failed 1,000 times. He's remembered for the light bulb, right? That was, yeah. All you got to do is hit it once. So. Cool. Do either one of you have anything else you want to add? You're good.
We're good. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Cool.
Was it good?
Yeah, I think that was pretty good.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
It went longer. Y'all are easy to talk to.
It always goes longer.
Yeah, it always goes longer than you think.
That ain't a bad thing. That just gives you more shit to cut out.
Yeah. So what'd y'all think?
I love it.